Hey guys, I'm working on this mesh crochet pants and I'm using robin yarn, 100% acrylic and a 5.5mm hook. So let's dive in. I'm going to double my yarn because I want it a bit thicker. This is thin, and I'm going to crochet a chain that is long enough to fit my hip area. This is it. This is my hip area. Make sure you have your measurements taken. Now make a loop. Enter your hook in the loop that you've created and make a chain of 104. That's my measurement. Make sure your chain is for your measurement. My chain is going to be long to 104 because I'm a size small, not too small, but if you're small, please measure and work. Make sure your chain stretches to your hip measurement like this. So this is my chain and it stretches to my hip measurements, like you can see. So this is my 104 chain. You're going to enter and join it together, slips through, and then chain 2, and now you're going to work a double crochet. Go into the next and work a double crochet. Wrap your yarn, go into the loop, pull through 1, pull through 2. That's your double crochet. Like that. That's your double crochet. So after the slip stitch, you're going to chain 1, 2, turn your work, and then you're going to chain 1, wrap your yarn, skip the first loop into the next with a double crochet, and then chain 1, wrap your yarn, skip this, go into the next with a double crochet. So we've started working on our mesh now. It's a chain 1 into the next with a double crochet. That's the routine of our mesh. So I'm going to work mine and then I'm going to meet you at the end of this first row of chain 1 double crochet. I'm getting at the end, chain 1, skip this into the next with a double crochet. We have go in the very first double crochet and slip stitch. So this is our first row of our mesh. Then you're going to chain 1, 2, then chain 1, 3, turn your work. The first 2 chain is double crochet, the third one is a skip 1, then work into the double crochet, then chain 1, to the next double crochet and skip into the double crochet, chain 1 and work in a double crochet. So you're going to work this until the end of our second row, again like that. Gorgeous. So I'm at the end of the second row, put a double crochet, chain 1, come in the second loop of a very first chain 2, make a slip stitch like that, then chain 1 2 3, turn your work. I already explained the first chain 2 is a double crochet, the third is a chain 1. So you're going to keep working the same thing until you have a total of 15 rows of this chain 1 double crochet. I'm going to work mine off camera. You can see I'm going to work mine off camera. You continue working on yours until you have a total of 15 rows. So I'm getting done with my 15th row. Chain 1, because it's a high-waisted bottom, make a slip stitch. So this is it so far. See, the color is beautiful. Now we are going to do a separation. So you have to get your stitch marker and count. I already counted mine off camera. This is my stitch marker that separates my legs for my crochet pants. So count and make sure you have equal sides, and then I'm going to make a chain of 14. So I'm going to make a chain of 14 as my separation, since I'm size small, not so small, like that. And you're going to come where you've put a stitch marker and, excuse me, remove it, and you're going to make a slip stitch. As simple as that. And after that, now you're going to start working on separate legs and start working the mesh one leg at a time, chain 3, and now continue like we were working before, doing your chain 1, then double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. We are working one leg at a time until it's marks at the bottom. Chain 1, double crochet, like that. So I've reached where the string was. I created the string. You're going to continue chain 1. You see, I have this coming in the skip 1 loop, going to the next, chain 1, go in the string, skip 1 loop, skip this loop, go into the next with a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 loop, into the next with a double crochet, like that, chain 1, skip 1 loop into the next with a double crochet. So we are creating one of our first separation, chain 1, into the next with a double crochet, until you come to where you started from. I'm almost there. Skip one loop into the next. So I have one loop left, so I'm going to chain one and slip stitch on the first double crochet. Oh, sorry, I have one extra. Then chain one, go in the very first double crochet and make a slip stitch like that. See, this is our first separation of our crochet pants. Chain three, like I said, first two is a double crochet, the third loop is a chain one, and work a double crochet. We are still working on one part of our separation, then we'll come to the other later on. Again, I've reached at the end. Then slip stitch. Chain three, turn your work. You are going to keep doing the same thing until you have a total of 20 rows. 20 rows of these, and then I'm going to show you what to do because our pants down they a bit of flare, so I have to put a bit of an increase. So after 20 rows we are going to work a small increase, so I'm going to work mine off camera and meet you when I'm done. So after this, I want to first, before I do the 20 rows total, I want to first build up on this other side of the leg as well. So I'm going to slip stitch here, chain one. I first cut off my yarn. I want to show you how to build up on the other side as well, so that if you want to crochet off this video, you can just continue without worrying on anything. So come on where you put your chain 14 to separate the pants, make a loop. So come on that chain at the very beginning, enter your hook, enter the loop you've created, pull through, chain 1, 2, 3, wrap your yarn, skip one loop into the next double crochet, chain 1, go in the next double crochet after skipping one loop, chain 1. You can use the first round that you made for guidance if you can't see the loops very clearly. Chain 1 like that. So I'm going to work a few, like 3 rows this side, and then I continue with my 20 rows below, because after the rows are 20 from the separation, it has to be 20 from the separation. I'm going to put a few rows with an increase. So this is it. Chain 1, enter, like this, chain 1 and continue. So it's a really easy to make mesh. The rules are not so difficult to follow. I hope you guys could tag me in a few videos you've made. So this is it. I am going to work more rows, 20 rows from the separation, before I show you the increase of this bottom below. So I'm on my 20th row of chain 1 half double crochet, the 20th row from the separation of my bottom. It has to be from the separation of your bottom that you did around here. So now we are going to work an increase. Yeah, we're going to work an increase so that it's a bit bigger down. So chain 1, 2, 3, turn your work, wrap your yarn around the hook, go back into the same loop, this loop. You're creating an extra loop here. So this is the extra loop, chain 1, and now continue working normally the way you were working. The chain 1, double crochet next, like that. So I'm getting at the end to the extra loop which I created in the beginning. And chain 1, come on the very first loop on this first chain 2, this one, and make a slip stitch. Sorry. And then chain 1, 2, 3, turn your work. We are going to again make an extra loop, go back in the very same loop where the chain 3 is, and put a double crochet. So this is our second extra loop, and again continue working the same thing. Like this, work the same thing. I'm going to make in a total of 4 rows of this extra loop increase, and then we again work normal. So I have worked 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 4th row of the extra loop. If you see, there is a bit of an increment at the ends of the bottom or the pants. Chain 3, turn your work, wrap your yarn. Now work normal the way you were working before, like working a double crochet in a double crochet and a chain space on the chain space. Like that. No more increases. After the 4 rows, I don't put any other extra increase, but you can see the increment already. I'm coming to the end. Chain 1, work double crochet on top of a double crochet, chain 1, and come on the first double crochet and make a slip stitch like that. Chain 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and continue working normal. So on this part, you are going to continue working normal until the pant touches your feet, like that. You can see the increment. Now you're just going to work the same because you don't want it to flare too much. You're going to work it until it touches your feet, and that's the same thing you're going to come and work on this other side of the bottom, this side. Like you make 20 rows from the separation, here, then you do the 4 rows of increment, and then you continue working normally. I'll meet you to put the string. So I'm done working on the feet. They're here. It's quite a long pant, so I can't show you, but I have them done. And now we're just going to put a string in our waist and we are good to go. So make a loop. Make a loop. Enter your hook and make a string long enough for your waist. So now I'm done with the string. It's here. I'm going to pass it through and our piece is gonna be ready. So come on your piece, look for the center. So my center is this. This is the middle of the parting of my bottom. So I have to look for the center from here. So this is it. So I'm going to use this line to pick the midpoint of my bottom. So this is it. This is it. So I'm going to pass my string in between each 2 loops, each 3 loops I mean. So pull it through. And count 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Enter your hook in like this. Pass it through. Count 1 2 3. If you want, you can just do 2 2. For 2 2, let me show you as well. This is our center. Just come here, pass through the first 2, then skip 1 2, come in these 2, pass through, then skip 1 2, come in these 2, pass through, like that. So you have to circle it all around until the end. And these are my strings if you want to tighten your bottoms even more. So this is our tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can't wait to see your pieces. Love you. Bye.